you should look at taking the simplest non-disruptive changes that AWS recommends and execute them. Okay? These are simple, non-disruptive. Non-disruptive being key. What this does for you is, when these changes are non-disruptive, like a dictator, sitting on the AWS console, you can fire off these changes and ensure that nothing changes, but you can save money right away. It's 10%, roughly 10% savings that you can get right away and get away. Okay? Now, what do these look like? So, the first one is S3 intelligent tiering. Okay? And this is some amazing work that the S3 team did, where they actually look at all of your usage or access patterns across S3, and they can move them into infrequent access tiers automatically. Okay, you can actually go all the way up to deep glacier, but if you stay up to the second level of infrequent access, there's actually no latency penalty at all. So for that odd scenario where you might need access to an S3 object that is sitting idle for months, you can access it. You'll be charged a little bit of a penalty, but net you would have saved tons of money by just having them move to another infrequent access tier. Okay. Now, a shout out to the AWS team here. Even though they've created this amazing tool as part of your S3 service, they do not turn it on by default. Okay. None of your S3 buckets have this turned on by default. I don't understand why. It's intelligent tiering, so you should figure it out. But they don't. Okay? So you have to go to every bucket one by one and turn it on. Okay? You can, however, script it and turn on intelligent tiering on any bucket that does not have it turned on, and you will save on an average 30 to 40% on your S3 storage costs. This should be the default mechanism that you start with and operate with. Okay? Most of S3 objects literally sit idle all the time. They have very occasional use, and if you have frequent use, intelligent tiering will take care of it. It'll keep it in the standard tier. Okay? Let me give you another example. And this is one of my favorites. So 2 years ago, I was super excited about the new volume type called GP3. Okay, these are EBS volumes. They operate at a base of 3000 IOPS. Okay, and are 20% cheaper. They're the next generation of EBS volumes, way better than the GP2s. Unfortunately, by the way, you guys should look up this blog post that AWS posted. It's pretty neat. The takeaway that I will guarantee that you will have is that this reads like a legal document. There's about 8 pages of content in here, and you'll be completely confused about what to do. But let me give you the simple takeaway. If your GP2 volume uses less than 3000 IOPS, it's a no-brainer to take that and move it into GP3 volume type. You will save 20% right out of the box. No downside to it. In fact, the performance of your volume will actually be greater because you have baseline performance of 3000 IOPS. Okay, so you have much better EBS volumes, 20% cheaper. Sadly, again, it will not be turned on for you by default. And shout out again to anyone from the EC2 team over here. They don't have GP3 as your default volume that you launch your EC2 instance with. Okay, though it should. Why should you not launch EC2 volumes with GP3 volume types, right? So here are some of the examples of insights or certain fixes that literally AWS is telling you is completely non-disruptive. By the way, this one, you don't need an instance restart. You don't need to, there's no change in your IP address or in any aspect. There's literally no change at all. It's an attribute in your volume type that changes, switches over, everything is taken care of under the hood. There's no downtime on your disk at all, and you just start saving 20% right away. Absolutely non-disruptive in any means.